absolutely everything.
Yeah, the worst thing you can do just now is stall. It's only the formation lap. You want to get a good start, lay down some rubber. You probably won't do the perfect start here because your tyres are cold, and you want to wheel spin, whereas in the race itself you won't want to wheel spin too much, but you want to clean that bit of track up as much as possible.
They've all got away cleanly now. You see them now moving along. Martin Brundle, when he's doing the F1 commentary, says that doesn't make any difference. What do you think? Does that get heat into the tyres?
Yeah, it does. And the Formula 1, you've got to remember, they've got tyre warmers. The cars are just getting straight out of them, so the tyres are probably actually above normal operating temperature at that point, whereas these guys, they have to generate all the heat themselves. You don't want to be wheel spinning too much. Accelerating braking is probably as good as weaving from side to side, but you want to put as much load in the tyre as possible without actually sliding the tyre, because that's when it burns and overheats.
What's the mechanics of actually getting the car to slide around? You sort of dipping on and off the throttle just to get the back to slide?
Yeah, I mean, when you're turning from side to side, you probably won't be using the brake because you don't want to get caught out and make a stupid error in the warm-up lap. But you're accelerating, braking, left, right, brake, accelerate. You're just loading the tyre in every angle possible, because the more you load it, that's what generates the heat. Sliding the car, wheel spinning the tyres doesn't so much generate it, it tends to burn the tyre, as I say. So that's why they'll be weaving, and you'll see some guys dropping back, which is not strictly legal, but trying to accelerate and go through the corner as fast as possible, out the back at some of the faster corners, and then braking hard up into the back of the car in front, because, as I say, that's what generates the heat.
Yeah, it makes it tricky for Maldonado on pole, because what does he do? How fast does he bring them all around? Because he doesn't want to be on the grid on his own for too long, does he? So.
No, I mean he will drive at his own pace, however he feels is the best for him. He's the one controlling it. He's allowed to control it at a reasonable pace. The clerk of the course will have spoken to him before the start of the race and told him what he expects and so on. But you'll find when he comes down to the last complex, the tight complex, he'll really slow them all up and get them bunched as much as possible, because he doesn't want to be sat there letting the heat go out of his brakes, his tyres, and the engine obviously will heat up a lot on the grid on a day like today, so he wants to keep everything as cool as possible in the engine and the gearbox side, but keep as much heat in the tyres and brakes as possible, because these guys are running carbon brakes which need to be at a certain temperature to operate, and he doesn't want to be making a stupid mistake at the first corner because he's been sat on the grid too long waiting for the guys at the back to line up.
Yeah, but with 30 of them, it's obviously it's going to take a fair amount of time. We just see them all now funneling through the final sequence of corners.
Yeah, definitely, that's them coming on the grid now, but you'll have the guys who maybe made a mistake in qualifying, who want to or feel they should be further up. They'll actually hang back to get an advantage, to make sure their tyres are hotter, and they'll want Maldonado's tyres to cool down and hope that it creates a problem for him at the first corner.
We've seen in a few other categories drivers struggling at the start. What are the clutches like on these cars? Are they easy to get away?
They're easier than most of the mechanically operated hand clutches. They've got quite a good feel to them. The engines have got plenty of power, so they should ideally get a little bit of wheel spin and not bog down, but I don't expect to see many cars stalling here. Sometimes they do take a second or two to go into gear, so he'll want to be in gear before they put the 5-second board up, and the only way he can do that, maybe the team's watching also on the radio, and as soon as the last car comes into place and before they raise the green flag at the back of the grid, he'll be in gear and trying to get his revs just right. He'll know whatever 7,500 or whatever he plans to do at the start, and he's got to balance that exact to get the start he plans.
The lights are on and it's go. Oh no, he's hit Maldonado straight into the barrier. Unbelievable.
Definitely Garcia got the better start there and was moving forward, and Maldonado tried to cover his line, and as I said before, the person with momentum tends to get lucky and go forward, but his car's destroyed.
Yeah, How did you see that? I mean, he did kind of cut in front of him to cover the line. We need to see the replay, I guess.
Yeah, Maldonado definitely didn't get the better start. He pulled across on Garcia, and then Garcia was moving out to take the racing line because he had the clean bit of track in front of him. He was obviously wanting to get the best exit out of turn one, and
you can just see the frustration in his body language there. There's 2 races this weekend. He's had the best car, and he's going to come away with a point.
Yeah, I mean it's not what he planned at all. He definitely had the car under him to win yesterday. Put on pole today, and it was a long race ahead of him. He didn't want to do that at the first corner.
So Garcia's got a good lead there from Danielson and Allison, and then the whole train coming behind them. It'd be interesting to see whether we need the safety car, but it doesn't look like it's on its way out yet.
No, it doesn't look like it, and we don't know how badly damaged Garcia's car is at the moment, but it seems to be going okay so far. He seems to have a good gap to Danielson in second, and he's not losing ground at all.
So it looks like Parente in fourth then, having a look at Allison, nothing too dangerous.
Yeah, we seem to have lost Shimoda as well. He doesn't seem to be at the front where he started.
No. There's a big field there, all filing through the first corner. Then we come across the first lap. There's Garcia, got about a second lead. Now you're right, he's got well there. Top 10, got Garcia, Danielson, Allison, Parente, Ben Hamlin kept third, got Stockton, Kool-Aid, Lemmy, Suchak made up a place, and Bernard was into the top 10. Yeah, obviously Maldonado was the biggest loser in that lap.
Oh, we've just seen Stephen Kane and Heinari Shimoda going past at the back there. They obviously had a come together, but they were well spread out in the grid, so I don't know if Kane's went off avoiding the spinning Shimoda or what's happened there.
The stewards are investigating the Garcia Maldonado incident, so they acted quite quickly yesterday after Maldonado and Danielson got together, so maybe if they do decide that it was Garcia's fault, we should find out quite quickly.
Yeah, and they tend to prefer to do a drive-through penalty, because if they wait till after the race, it can drag on, and protests and counter-protests can go in, and if they give him a drive-through penalty, the whole race can be...
So replay the start again, but it's just here where Garcia cuts back in front of him. Is that excessive?
At that point you don't know if he knew that Maldonado was there. Definitely Maldonado's front left connected with Garcia's right rear, so whether he could see him at that point or if he was just pulling out to take his racing line, I don't know.
Well, anyway, Garcia seems to have been unaffected by it. He's romping away at the moment.
No, he was 3/10 quicker than Danielson through the second sector of the lap there, so he's definitely pulling away, and you've got
Pile and Fleming.
Yeah.
So 2 laps in the bag on the 23 lap race for Garcia. 1.3 ahead of Danielson, Allison, McIntosh now up into the top 10. Bernard seems to have gone off somewhere on that last lap.
Garcia definitely seems to be pulling out a gap. He had a good race yesterday, as we said, and he's definitely putting his experience of this track to good use.
Robbie Kerr's made a good start up from 21st on the grid to run 13th. That's an excellent first couple of laps, isn't it?
No, he obviously took his chance as well, and he stayed out of trouble, and he's picked his way up there nicely.
Garcia's just keeping it calm. Seems to have a couple of attempts in hand. The gap's pulled out further from Danielson there. So Danielson seems to be quite slow in the race yesterday. I wonder whether he's got the same sort of setup issues as he had yesterday.
Well, they're a new team to the championship this year, Comtech. It's a completely new team. It's a team that's been around for a long time in other formulas, but they're new to this championship, and they've obviously found a good qualifying setup, and they've only had, this is only really the second real meeting, because Monaco is so unique, and it'll take them maybe another 2 or 3 races to get fully up to speed. But it's a long race. You don't know what setups are on. You don't know what strategy. Garcia could be planning to stop on lap 5 or 6. Danielson could have tyre pressures and everything set for lap 15, so we don't know at this stage. It's going to unfold as the race goes on.
Interesting that Danielson's being engineered by telephone this weekend, because Romancini, his engineer, doesn't like flying, and he decided to drive over, but gave up about 500 miles in. So
I tend to believe if you've got a good setup, the engineer it's better if he's here for sure, but also they're doing a good job by the means that they've got. And P2, they can't have any complaints at this stage.
So there's Brent still on the back of Allison, but I'm surprised that there's been so few overtaking opportunities seen in these cars. Why do you think that is, Ryan?
It's possible just the drivers are settling down into the race at this stage, getting used to the car on the heavy fuel loads, and it's a long race. There's 20 laps to go. They don't want to be taking any real chances and losing a front wing and destroying the race at this stage. A few of the drivers will be hoping to take advantage of the pit stop strategy and use that to gain places rather than take the risk on track.
Do you think that maybe it's the aero sensitivity through that long turn 8 that they can't really get in the toe properly down to 9 for the inside?
It is possible. These cars rely a lot on ground effects, so they should be able to run a lot closer. They're down on downforce from last year. They have a little bit less downforce. They're not running the side skirts again to make the racing closer and the overtaking better. But it is a long track with a lot of fast corners, so the gaps are going to tend to struggle to be closer than a second. You're going to have to really look and pressure the guy in front into making a mistake to make the move. But the race does seem a bit more spread out than it was yesterday. Yeah,
with Garcia with a clear lead, Danielson with a comfortable gap as well, Allison and Ferrante running closely together, and then a gap back to Balsecchi and Pilo, and Fleming's got a whole train of cars behind him with Suchek, McIntosh, Montanari and Kerr running line still.
I think Kerr's just passed James Rossiter for 12th position, so it's a big gap between the British drivers. In fact, I think Kerr seems to have disappeared.
Well spotted.
No, sorry.
But Garcia, well, actually Danielson took a couple of attempts out on that lap, and it was Hanley who was the fastest man with a 42.0, so he's, and we just see there that Garcia's been given the black flag for that incident with Maldonado.
Well, that's the end of his race. Maldonado got a drive-through penalty, so he still had the chance to stay on and score a point yesterday, but Garcia, he's got not even any opportunity to fight that in the steward's room after the race. He's been immediately withdrawn from the race, so he'll have to stop within 2 laps or risk further penalties for the next few races.
Yeah, that's terrible news for the championship leader there, so he won't be scoring anything, and Maldonado's out, so he won't be getting any points, and Salignon, who came into the weekend joint championship leaders back in 18th, so he's not looking like scoring either. It's a really topsy-turvy championship this week.
Yeah, it's going to take a man to put a string of results together, which nobody's able to do that to establish a championship lead, but Garcia won't be happy with that because clearly he didn't think he's done anything wrong at the first corner, but he's come immediately into the pit, so that's the end of his race.
Yep, so Danielson will take over the lead, and then we've got a battle for second between Allison and Perent, and then a further gap back to Hanley, who's now to fourth, and as well Secchi's come in. I don't know why probably the early pit stop, isn't it? McIntosh as well, Rossiter, Barber and
Tomicello and Pavlovic.
So quite a few of them are taking this opportunity to come in as a second contact car then of Van Laden.
Menegello also, so I think maybe as much as 10 cars have stopped there, so they're obviously hoping for a pace car. Well, it was a very quick stop by the Yenza Motorsport crew with Barber. He's already overtaken 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah, it looks like Tocacello's had a good turnaround as well in the Euro International car. So we'll have to keep an eye out on those guys who've pitted early. So Valsecchi in the Epsilon was the highest place of the early pitters in 6th. So what do you think of pit stop? It seems to be quite a short pit lane entry and exit. So maybe not the most penalising of pit lanes.
No, and everybody has to do a pit stop. It's not like you're in Formula 1 where you some people do different strategies to run 2 or 3 different pit stops. Everybody has to do one, and it's just when you choose yours and when you hope to lose the least time. But I think we're getting pictures of Garcia getting out his car. He's not going to be happy.
No, let's just see check the body language there. Yeah, dejection, I guess.
No, it was a brave decision for the clerk of the course to make, because maybe they had a different angle on it to us, but it was a hard move. But racing at the front, he obviously felt he was justified to move across and take his racing line. He was leading at that time, so.
There's Danielson putting his first lap in as a race leader from Allison. now the pit stops into the fifth page guy. Who's that coming in here? We've got Montanari and Kerr. So I'm going to take one that's for good, isn't it?
Yeah.
The second Tom's Carroll, I guess. So Pile up to fifth, Fleming sixth, Montanari seventh. So Kerr is the one who's come out of the pit stops ahead. He's now to eighth. I've already taken the mandatory stops there. Looks like KTR have done a great job there.
I think Kerr's actually just went into the stop just now. It was McIntosh who took his stop first. But
okay, so now it's like essentially the highest place to our pitters.
Also for us it's better if all the drivers stop within the next 3 or 4 laps so we can understand exactly who's where at the moment.
I think it's confusing for us with monitors. Imagine if you're in the grandstand. I always think that's a problem with pit stop races.
Yeah, I mean the Renault World Series they try to limit to a certain lap window between lap 5 and lap 12 I think it is this weekend when you can pit to try and make it a bit easier. Otherwise you have one driver all stay out to the very last lap and nobody knows and then you'll pit and it's the worst that you can have is confusion.
Yeah, we saw that a lot in A1 Grand Prix this year where there was the pit window was open till the very last lap where some teams would choose to keep their guy out in front and give the sort of fans false expectations that Lebanon would be getting a 4th place or whatever. So here's Danielson coming around to lead again. Let's see if Allison's making any difference. Yeah, he's got the gap down to second.
Yeah, no, he's definitely at this stage in the race. Allison definitely is faster than Danielson. He's also faster than his teammate, Prematt, who's right behind him, Parenti.
Simon just come in for his stop.
Yeah, he made a good first few laps. He was up to 9th place at that point.
Bruce Riley as well. So pretty much most of the half the field now. So we've got sort of dual strategies here. The front runners seem to be leaving it later, happy on the way their car sets up at the moment.
Definitely, if you're not getting held up, you want to try and stay out for as long as possible because obviously the longer you stay out on these set tyres, the less time you've got to spend on the second set. I think most teams are choosing just to do front tyres, but maybe if you took a risk and took the extra time because it takes an extra 2 or 3 seconds to change the rear tyres just because of the size of them and so on, it's a bit more awkward to get to them. It might pay off, I would imagine, later in the race. But Allison's definitely staying with Danielson. He's caught another 3/10 on him so far this lap, so he'll want to pit before Danielson and use that pace to jump him.
Yeah, you can see it visually now. The gap's coming down as they're peeling into the final sequence of corners. It'll be interesting to see which one of them jumps first in terms of the pit stop because that could be a way of getting by.
Yeah, Parenti's went straight in for his tyres, so he'll be hoping to come out in a clear bit of track and use the new tyres to be faster than the 2 guys and jump them. But it's going to be close.
As well from fifth.
Peely's had a good first few laps. He started 9th in the grid and
after his disastrous race yesterday, I think he's really put that behind him.
Yeah, he's the first car I've seen so far. He's changed his rear tyre, so he's taken the risk there. So
Suchek, yesterday's winner, coming as well in the second intermittent car. Interesting to see what they choose to do in the final.
Well, they're also their championship leaders, so they're right down at the far end of the pit lane. So it feels like it's taken an age to get down there for him, maybe. But then, obviously, as soon as he changes his tyres, he can get out and off the speed lane pit limiter in a way. So.
There's a local hero, Jason Da Vinci, as well, making his stop. He's used to making pit stops from his GP2 experience.
Yeah, we've got a yellow flag at turn 12, so the guys who haven't stopped, they'll be praying that they don't bring out a full course yellow or a safety car at this stage because that'll be a disaster for them.
There's a white car. Oh no, we can see it's.
I think it's Barber, is it?
Yeah, it's Barber in the. That's a Genza, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll say it's the end of his race. I don't know if he's made contact. He's missing his front right barge board's all broken in his front wing. So
it's a strange place to go off on your own, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unless he's had brake failure or something.
You've got to assume that he's because he hasn't actually hit anything, but he's lost his front wing, so he must have made contact with another car. He doesn't look happy.
Is this a replay of it? Yeah, it's one of the Prema cars. Is that Franchi driving down the inside?
I think it's a Pons
Oh, it's
car.
Pons. No, it's Miguez. Yeah. Ooh, he's got a lot of air there.
Oh, he's very lucky not to.
Has he gone over?
No, he hasn't. He's
quite a spectacular exit for Alvaro Barber there.
no,
There's a bit more work for the team to do.
yeah, I mean they'll be glad that happened today, not yesterday. You know, that car will go into the truck and back to the workshop. Need a fair bit of repairing, but I don't know if he just didn't see the Pons car down his inside, or what happened if the Pons car ran a bit wide when he was trying to pass. But the end result, I think both cars are actually out of the race anyway. If they're out, there won't be any immediate drive-throughs or black flags. If both the cars come out of the race, that'll be a decision that's taken in the stewards room well after the race is finished.
And there's our lead pair with Allison slowly but surely reeling Danielson in. There's a 10th there and a 10th there.
Yeah, I think it's got to the point now where he won't get any closer unless Danielson makes a mistake. The aero, the way it works through the fast corners, he'll be struggling. So you could find he might decide to dive into the pits of this lap, or if Danielson dives into the pits, he might stay out and try and use his extra pace to jump him.
We should have got a clear idea when they come across the line this time how well French strategies work.
Yeah.
Is that Danielson in?
Yeah, Danielson's in. So
he's jumped first. So it's up to Allison now to bang in a couple of quick laps and try and take advantage.
And Hanley up to P2 now. He's been putting in some consistent times. He was a good 7/10 faster than Allison in that lap. So you have to watch him closely. He was one who definitely have won, I feel, Zumba the first or the second race of the season, but the first weekend, but for a rain shower and a mistake.
So Koska and Franchi and D'Ambrosio came into Shimoda, having made up some places without having stopped yet. The first of our stoppers is Brent there in 9th, and he's just put in the fastest lap of the race as well with a 41.9, so he's really getting on it and doing the job, isn't he?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's got to hope, trying to see how close he is to the car in front. He's got his teammate Shimoda, who hasn't stopped yet, just a second up the road, so he'll be hoping that the team's on the radio and making sure he makes life easy for them.
Just seeing Barber and Miguez will be asked to report to the stewards after the race and to explain their actions with that the last sequence of corners.
I'm sure they've both got fixed views on who is to blame, but it's a clock the course that has to decide who to punish, or if it will just be put down as a racing incident.
Here we see Perent coming up behind Shimoda and that group of traffic. It's unfortunate the way that he's caught them there.
Yeah, I think he's already through past Shimoda, but he's now got is that Danielson right in front of him? He's got Danielson right in front of Stephen Kane.
Yeah, and ahead of him is Drim D'Ambrosio. So Allison's in, and so is Hanley.
I would have. thought
Koska will be leading if Draco don't bring him in.
Yeah, and Franchi's came in, so Koska's the only one not to stop so far, right at the very front. There's a big lead now over second place on the road at the moment.
So Kane stays out, so Danielson's stuck right up behind him with Brent with a genuine fight for position right on his tail now.
Yeah, you'd have felt that if you were a team manager for one of the cars at the front there, Hanley and Allison, you might have seen the situation that...
You've got a spinner there at turn 1. There's another Tech 1 car, I couldn't quite catch the numbers.
Yeah, and I think we just seen Allison taking the lead there. Oh.
No, and Danielson's hit him, taking his front wing off. Danielson's spin, Allison's got damage, broken his suspension there.
I think he's got a puncture, these carbon got very sharp and they just took off.
So there's an amazing sequence of events there. So Allison just joined directly behind, right in the middle of that Danielson-Perent scrap, and the two of them have hit each other, and it looks like Perent's going to inherit. Oh, the safety car's out.
Okay, well that can be a bit of a disaster for Costa. He'll be wanting to pit straight away, or else his race is effectively.
Here we see it again.
Run.
Difficult to see exactly what happened there. He just seemed to take his line and clip that right front of Allison's car.
Well, they both knew that was effectively for the lead of the race, although it wasn't.
You see the tyre burst.
Obviously not the actual lead on the track, but the lead of the race at that point. And Danielson's on hot tyres and Alison on cold tyres, so Danielson was trying to definitely make the move happen and get through what he could.
This will be a welcome relief for the summer drivers in these temperatures, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think Costa just stayed out, which
doesn't make sense.
No, that's basically just.
Oh, here we see it again. It's almost like he's trying to go underneath Kane there to protect the place, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Alison came out of the pitch just as I think it was D'Ambrosio who had spun and caused the initial mayhem, and Danielson was just desperate to get in front of Alison as soon as possible. And cut across in front of him because definitely that wasn't the line for turn 4 at that point. He was trying to make the move happen. And, speaking, he'd have been leading the race still if he'd been another 2 inches further up the road when he turned left.
Yeah. So here we have the order with 11 laps remaining. Costa from Kane, both of those yet to stop. From Parente, Allison, Shimoda was yet to stop. Falsecchi, Montanari, Hanley, Pile, and McIntosh. So 3 of the top 10 yet to pit, which I'm surprised they haven't come in yet, Ryan, under the safety car. It seems a strange tactic.
I think it's race is run basically for them now. They don't have a chance of even scoring points. The people who haven't stopped, so they'll maybe just stay out and try and get the glory of leading for as long as possible. And they have to accept now that they can't win the race. You have Parent, Alison right behind him, but with half his front wing missing, he won't pit for a new wing. He'll try and stay on and stay out there for as long as possible and hope that he can salvage some points out of the race. Valsecchi will be trying to get up into the podium position. Montanari was a big jumper. He's now 7th, but maybe 4th or 5th on the road really. And Hanley lost a lot of time in his pit stop.
Does the fact that Allison's lost the right part of his wing make much difference, given the mainly left-hand corners round here?
Oh, definitely. Even from anything from braking at the end of the straight, you'll tend to lock up more than you would before because he doesn't have the downforce. It's very important. It doesn't matter which side. It's basically the downforce is spread equally across the whole front end of the car. So he's immediately lost half the front downforce on his car. So he's got to have big understeer, big braking problems as the race goes on. We don't seem to have a safety car at the moment.
Kane is absolutely miles ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what happened there, but Brent seems to have a de facto leader, right? From Allison and Shimoda.
We've got a safety car on track, but he's just about at the back. Everybody's overtaking him at the moment. So
it's chaos. Well, he should just park up on the exit of the final turn there and just wait for Kane to come around. Really. So we're in near racing speeds under a cruising period at the moment.
I mean, they're doing the last lap time of Costa was 1:45.9.
Like 2 and a bit seconds off his normal race pace.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, that's not exactly safe, I guess, but I suppose they know where the car is by now. No, there's Costa, the race leader. Is the safety car going to pick him up at the end of the pit straight?
Yeah, but he seems to be at the back of the whole train of cars. So
it's in a state of confusion here at the moment, unfortunately. I don't know what the fans are making of this. We've got the big screen there opposite the main straight, so they can at least see what's going on. But we have this strange situation where the guy who's leading the race is at the back of the queue.
Well, Kane is pushing like crazy. You can see here, if he pits now, he could possibly still get out at the front of this queue and have made a.
Oh yeah, good point.
A big leap forward.
It's a free pit stop effectively.
Yeah.
He's slowing now.
He's going very slow at the moment.
Is he pitting?
No, he's not pitting.
Oh, I'm dumbfounded. I don't know. I don't know what these tactics are. And then, but Parent's leading them around like he is the safety car.
49.2 for Kane on that lap, which is about 8 or 9 seconds off.
44.1 from Costa. He's in the 7 classes like a racing.
work out what's going on, but it's a bit different when when you're meant to be commentating on it, and we honestly don't have a clue. If Koska stops on this lap.
Well, there are definitely waved yellows all across the track, but they're driving it pretty much race speed. I mean, this is helping Allison massively, isn't it? All this safety car period.
The longer the race sits behind the pace car, the better for him, because the less strain he's putting on the front tyre. I think you can actually see that the front tyre looks quite badly damaged as well, the front right.
There's like a dark line around the centre of it. Oh, was that with some front damage, like Fleming?
Fleming, yeah, in the Red Bull car.
He's hit someone from behind and damaged the nose. Well, they're almost racing now. Sort of. But under yellows. I've never seen anything like it.
Okay.
Koska's finally caught the safety car.
Okay, I think they're regretting big time that they didn't stop in that last lap now.
Yeah.
But
they had a free pit stop there. I can't believe Koska especially was almost a lap ahead of the rest of them.
Yeah, and I'm not 100% sure about the rules on whether they can pit behind the safety car or not, but I'm sure they can.
Yeah, once the pit lane, once the window's open, they can pit. Yeah. Well, anyway, so normality restored. We do have a safety car picking up the leader. Light still on as well, but you would have thought that they've moved Danielson's car by now. So maybe the light's still on. Hopefully when he crosses the line, I'll turn them off and we can get back to the sort of 8-lap sprint to the finish.
Yeah, when the race does get started, it is going to be a race to the finish, but Perrin has got Stephen Kane, who has been running quite a bit slower than him right in front, so he'll be desperate to get past him as quickly as possible.
They're going to have to bring those two in from when the pit window closes?
I think it's maybe about 5 laps before the end of the race. So. Front wing, and Shimoda's yet to stop between him and Montanari, who's actually, we have to assume is third in the overall scheme of things in the race, with Montanari fourth and Ben Hanley in fifth.
And get rid of this confusion. Well, there's a replay of the incident at the start, which took out not just Maldonado but also Garcia, who was black flagged for his involvement in it. And no doubt we'll see that other incident with Barber and Miguez. I know here's Danielson and Allison. Danielson's race was over with that puncture, picked up there, and it'd be interesting to see how much that affects Allison's car now, whether he can hold on and get some decent points out of this race.
Yeah, for sure. And you've just got to feel that if Allison had stayed out one extra lap with the pace he had, he'd have came out clearly in front of that bunch of cars and would have went on to win the race at that point.
Yeah, I think they maybe came in a lap or two too soon.
Yeah, definitely. When they seen it, that Perrent and Danielson were stuck behind Kane, I think it was at that point, and losing time on their normal race pace, that they'd have stayed out for at least an extra lap or two.
Right, well, the lights on the safety car are back on, but I'm hoping it's coming in this lap because we've got some racing to do here.
Yeah, I think they'll switch the lights off as they come up to, I think it's turn 13 at the end of the back straight before the last sequence. The safety car lights are off.
Excellent. Okay, so whether Koska and Kane come straight in now, we don't know, but they're our leaders. But the real leaders, Perrent in third. Like you say, we've got Allison in fourth, but with the damaged car, and then Shimoda who's yet to pit, and Valsecchi and Montanari. So
they definitely won't pit this lap because they'll be stuck behind the pace car all the way down the pit lane and lose. Oh, Kane has pitted, so he's going to be stuck at less than 60 kilometres an hour. He's going to be getting very frustrated.
Crazy tactics from Epsilon this race. And Koska's got a big lead, and Perrent's done quite well as well.
I think Kane probably realised his race was over as far as points were concerned and opted to stop straight away. He'll have a clear track and hopefully he'll, if his car's underneath him, he'll be able to go for maybe fastest lap if at all possible and salvage something out of his weekend.
Yeah, as you say, it's probably his best chance of getting a point out of this weekend. Although you have to say his pace so far up to now isn't really pointed towards that.
Hasn't, but I think he's changed rear tyres, which will probably help him more than the people that changed obviously quite a few laps ago now, just the front tyres. Peely, we've seen he changed his rear tyres, so he's right behind Hanley, so we'll be able to see if that pays off and he has the grip to go forward.
So Koska yet to stop. Surely he must be coming in soon. He's running at a good pace though. He's actually pulled away from Parent, which is a bit surprising given where he was running further down the order.
Yeah, I mean he qualified not too bad, and I think he also was back there by the fact that he maybe made a mistake and went off in one of the earlier laps. I didn't notice what quite went on, but obviously his teammate was on pole and had the car underneath him. He's got the same car, so maybe he didn't quite put it all together in qualifying, got traffic or so on. But
there's a move there with Valsecchi picking off Shimoda, who comes into the pits, and so does Koska. So normality at the front with real race leader Parent. From Allison in a damaged car from Montanari. Interesting. Fronts for Koska.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think now the run order at the front is how it should be.
And there's Kane with a huge gap to make up. He's actually Koska's come out ahead of him, hasn't he? I was wondering whether this pitting behind with the safety car there was going to turn out to be beneficial.
No, he definitely lost a lot of time because for about maybe 500 metres down the pit straight, where he's allowed to go full speed before he has to reduce to pit lane speed limit, he was stuck behind the safety car, which is just a small Renault Clio, which wasn't going so fast at the time. So
there's a victory car of Alvaro Parent, and running towards victory at the moment with Allison sort of backing the others up behind him, and he's pulled a clear 6/10 on that lap, and it looks, when there's a spinner there.
And
Kerr's gone over the top of him. A terrible result there for Robbie, who'd done a great job in the pit stops.
Yeah, well,
was that Valsecchi that had spun?
I think it was Montanari who spun out of basically P3 at the time. Maybe he was just trying too hard to pass the damaged Allison at the time, and Kerr had nowhere to go. But
we've got more fun and games going on here.
Definitely. Hanley's made a good move up into past Valsecchi.
Yeah.
So that should be into P3.
It was Montanari and we've got a whole host of spinners down there at turn 11. Can't quite pick out either of them. I think one of them might be Montanari. Francie's stuck in the middle of the road.
It was a nightmare lap for the Prema team, losing two of their cars in one lap.
Yeah. Disastrous for them.
Montanari's coming into the pits with the same front left corner.
He's not even making it to not even going to make it to the pit.
Front left corner that he lost while leading at Monaco. Line second at Monaco.
Unbelievable. And another podium finish that the San Marino drivers lost in the late stages of the race with an accident.
No, it's all the drivers seem to in the middle of the field there seem to lose their head for 50 seconds or so.
It's been completely mad this last half of the race, hasn't it?
I think we lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different cars dropped down order in that lap there.
We'll wait for them to cross across the line this time and give you a fully updated order of exactly who's where.
Well, other than Parenti, every single car in the top 24 changed position on that lap.
And talking about Parent, there he is with a 41.8, quickest lap of the race, and almost 2.5 seconds quicker than Allison in second. He's walking away with this one now.
Yeah, Allison obviously will be just trying to nurse the car home as much as possible. He's got 5 laps to do, 4 laps now.
Yellow's into the best overtaking spot on the track as well. Parent flashes across the line and with the damaged car of Allison. He's doing quite well to hold on now. He's not under any immediate pressure from Hanley.
No, he's 1.4 seconds slower than his teammate, who's probably pretty relaxed at this stage. He'll know about the damage to his car. His team will have informed him about that. and Hanley will be pushing hard for P2 now. He's nearly a second quicker than Allison on that lap.
Interesting to see what sort of pace Kane and Costa are able to pull out the back this lap. They've had a free lap. 43.1 from Kane. He's not going to beat Brent with that pace.
I think Van Lagen was the fastest man on that lap on a 42.3. No, sorry, Perrent was actually the quickest, so yeah, he's justifyingly...
We've got a replay of some of this final complex madness. It's difficult to see whether there was... well, it's Franchi and Topacello, but who hit who and how. So I'd say...
Pavlik, bit of a sympathy spin there.
Just a bit too keen on the throttle, eh?
Yeah. We have Rossiter, who dropped down the order a lot on the first few laps, down to about P20 he was, and he's now up to 7th just by keeping his nose clean and staying out of trouble. And
he's right underneath Pile there as well, so...
Yeah, he'll be hoping to make up at least one more place before the end of the race.
So Brent comes down through where those yellows are as they're moving Montanari's car away. Hopefully they'll get that clear for the final couple of laps so we can see any passing if they get close enough.
Yeah, and Allison's doing a surprisingly good job with only half a front wing. I think it underlines the fact that he's got a very good car under him today and had the pace to definitely challenge for a win.
Yeah, he's keeping a good 6 tenths plus gap on Henry. He's got about section 4th, McIntosh 5th, Pile 6th, Russell 7th. And then a big gap back to the rest of them now, which is Fleming for Pile and Van Lagen and make up the points for us. Salignon seems to have gone with somewhere in that last lap and didn't spot that. We have some more pits. Oh, that sound.
I think quite a few cars down the order now are running with damaged wings and damaged tracking and so on in their car. There's been a lot of contact out there. So
it was a bit of a demolition derby for a couple of laps after that safety car, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think after about 3 laps in the race we were complaining about not being enough action. It was a bit spread out, but it seems to have tightened up at the moment.
Almost too much action at one point with safety cars that weren't in the lead of the pack, and then people spinning off all over the place. But anyway, the order's calmed down now.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to his Salignon here. He hasn't even made it as far as his pit box. He's got
some sort of transmission problems, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, these cars are normally pretty reliable, so I don't know what's going on there. They'll be disappointed with their weekend. I think they were probably...
Well, Allison seems to be under a bit more pressure this lap.
No, for sure he'll...
And Valsecchi's, though, they've sort of concertinaed those three there, the Allison, Hanley, Valsecchi, and looks like Hanley's trying to make a move. Good solid blocking there from Allison, but is that going to allow Valsecchi to go around the outside?
Yeah. I mean,
it has, yeah. Can he hold
but
it
it's yellow flags.
Oh yeah, you're quite right, yeah, he's passed them under the yellows there. Well, do you think if he just lets them back through, they'll pass them? They can't allow that, can they? It was clearly
clear yellows, so... His team should really be on the radio telling him to do that, but maybe now it's too late. The race director will have acted already and he'll have made up his mind.
Got to note there that Danielson's asked to report to the stewards after the race for his move on Allison, but the damage has been done now. He lost a certain podium place.
No, definitely. I mean, Hanley, you can see now, is definitely faster than Versace again. But it was an awkward situation for him there. He had to push to go forward and also try and defend at the same time into a zone which is a yellow zone. So he's...
Here's the straight. Well, like as you say, it's probably too late for the team to tell him to radio Valsecchi's lane. But it's definitely through 8 that Allison's very slow.
Yeah.
With that missing front wing, obviously.
And
so it's bunching them all up here. But the yellows have gone now. So.
Okay. But he should actually be quite quick in the straight line now because less downforce. Although it's a broken wing, it should help him a little bit on the straight maybe.
Yeah, a bit less drag though.
Yeah.
Rossiter's still climbing all over the back of Pile. It's surprising now. It's a very, very late move, but he managed to squeeze away through.
Yeah, that was a very good move. I think Pile left him room and then couldn't really cover the door after that and just had to move the move.
There was a final lap from Victory Engineering Volvo French holds the lead, but the real action is the second place where the damage car of Ross, who of course picked up a place in that last lap from Patrick Pino.
No, from 2nd to 7th, we were within 2 and a bit seconds, you know. Prematt, he's checked out, Parenti, sorry, he's checked out at the front, and he's got the win in his bag unless he has some sort of major disaster in this last lap. But we could have a last, very exciting last 2 corners here, because it's a long straight up to that point, and I think Alison will be desperate to hold on to a podium, but you've got Hanley and Versace who will be desperate to get past.
Rossiter's closed up on McIntosh immediately, but is not going to be close enough to do a repeat of last lap's manoeuvre. Oh, there's Pavlovich losing it again.
Yeah, he's passing there. I think that was a local driver, Tedeschi. Tenchi, sorry, he was passing there.
Well, they were disputing 15th place there, so I suppose there's no great loss. But here's the train.
This is coming up to the last complex here. They've got a flat-out right-hand kink and then up the hill.
Rossiter's done him. He's taken McIntosh, unseen by the camera there, but he's made it up to 5th place. So a storming drive from Rossiter in those last few laps.
Definitely. Oh, and Versace round the outside of Alison. He didn't make it though.
When he's cut back right in front of Hanley. No, he's not, but Hanley holds on. So some great action in the final few laps there. So Brent takes the win, and Alison a remarkable drive with a broken car from Versace, Hanley, Austin, McIntosh, Poulet, as quick as we can say them. And then a big gap back to Fleming. Van Largen got for Poulet on that final lap as well. So they make out our final point score.
I think there'll be quite a few satisfied drivers. Alison will be, obviously, Perrin will be over the moon with his win, and Alison will be fairly relieved to salvage a second place out of a race that he could have won, albeit from the incident with Danielson. And I think Hanley will more than definitely move up to 3rd place once the stewards look at the video of that race and the incident with the yellow flag.
What do you think Valsecchi's penalties? A time penalty or exclusion for that?
I don't know.
I just want. He's probably whatever. He's going to be at the points, isn't it? Which will promote Menangelo into 10th.
I think they might look favourably on him and maybe give him a 10-second penalty or something like that.
Yeah. Which,
as you say, moves him out of the points, which he won't be happy with. But it was clear waved yellows, and it wasn't the first lap the yellow flags had been out on either. They had been out there for maybe 2 or 3 laps at that point, and he clearly overtook Hanley.
Absolutely. So, no, good race that, wasn't it, Ryan?
No, definitely the second half livened up there. As soon as the leaders started to pit for the tyres, it all got a bit exciting as we struggled to keep up with what was happening.
Just noticed there in the penultimate lap, Toccocello's notched up the fastest lap to 41.5.
He'll be happy with that. He had a disappointing race yesterday where he was, I think, line P5 when he spun off on his own. So he'll be happy to get something out of the weekend and show everybody that he has the pace to run at the front if everything goes well.
So there's your race winner, Alvaro Brent. First ever World Series win for him, and didn't he deserve it? But I mean, okay, so Alison was holding up the pack behind him, but once he got into the lead, really got the hammer down and did everything he had to win that one.
No, definitely, he'll be chuffed a bit with himself for that. He started P6, he stayed out of trouble. Everybody else at the front, I think, got involved in some sort of incident along the way, and he put his head down and kept clear of it all.
So there you see the classification, but we think that Valsecchi probably won't hold on to that 3rd place, so that would promote Hanley to 3rd, Ross to 4th, McIntosh 5th, Pile 6th, Fleming 7th, Van Largen 8th, Fukuda 9th, and then Menangelo for GD Racing, a valuable point for them after then having one of their best seasons, but double points finish with Pile getting in there as well.
Yeah, I think Pile will be happy to get a finish under his belt after yesterday, and they'll get the car back to the workshop and check it out.
Yeah, we can clearly see the damage there on the front of Alison's car. Just that right front wing there snapped right off on the left rear of Danielson's car as they were disputing what was the lead as they came out on after the pit stops.
Yeah, he seems fairly happy with himself after that, which rightly he should.
Yeah, absolutely. And sort of a de facto 1-2 for Carlin now, although of course we shouldn't mention that because it is victory.
It's two teams run by basically the same person, and they do a good job of it.
There's Trevor, congratulating these lads,
taking them or whatever, and yeah.
There's a few bit more arguing going on there. Once again, there's the classified finish. And like I say, a lot of drivers can take a lot out of that, and Hanley finally racking up a good result under his belt. Probably a podium when the results will shovel out.
But we lost the three front people on the grid there. Obviously Maldonado out at the first corner while basically leading, Garcia black flagged while leading, and then Danielson getting a puncture while he wasn't leading on the road, but we all knew the situation with the pit stops and.
Although one suspects that he's going to be given that trophy back.
Yeah, but he'll take the credit at the moment and enjoy
There's
the moment.
Allison, his best World Series drive by a considerable margin, especially with that broken wing. Brilliant.
No, definitely. I mean, he had some flashes of brilliance last year in the Formula Round 2000, but he stepped up to the World Series and he's proved that he's worth the backing that he's got. He has some Red Bull and Lukoil backing him there, and he'll be happy to repay them with a good result here.
And there's team manager there, Victory. And we'll get ready for the Portuguese national anthem. Oh no, we've got a presentation of the trophies first, don't we? Forget that. There's a guy in a very nice white jacket there. He's looking cool on a hot day.
I think the Carling and the Victory guys will be having a good party tonight before they head back to England tomorrow. Yeah,
that'll be the place to go tonight, definitely. In this side of Istanbul, there's not much else going on.
No, we have to find out where they're going.
Everyone's actually delighted there. He's a teenage Italian, even though with that move under the yellow, still a great drive from him.
No, definitely. I mean, I'm trying to see where he started on the grid. He was
outside the top 10. Oh no, he was 7th.
7th. Okay, so he'll be happy with that. Maybe at this stage he didn't realise he passed under yellows. If he generally didn't see them, although it's not an excuse, the race director will still punish him. If he didn't see them, he's maybe quite entitled to be celebrating his 3rd place at this stage.
And it's that big trophy for good walk there. I like that. It's a good strut. And a nice big trophy, a classic sort of trophy.
They'll be looking forward to taking that home in the plane with them tomorrow.
Portuguese answer. They keep them short and sweet here.
They definitely do. I'm hoping they're going to put up the championship positions so we can see in a second what that's actually done to the standings at this stage. I mean, there's a long way of the championship to go. Although this is the 3rd round, it's only the 2nd doubleheader. They head to the next round.
Misano's the next round. Yeah, I think Garcia is still going to be in the lead of the championship, but that's going to move Perent right into the mix there, and probably into 4th place. Although Rossiter's got a good haul of points here as well, hasn't he? So it's going to be close between the top 5.
I mean, Sanyong and Surchek will be extremely disappointed. They had the pace yesterday in qualifying, qualified 1-2 in their group, which is 1st and 3rd overall. And Surchek got some good points yesterday, but Sanyong not, and then Sanyong had a disaster again today.
Yeah, absolutely nowhere near. Right, well there's our top 3 finishers, and we're any minute now just about to get a word from them and hear what it was that they thought about that entertaining race here as the World Series first ever meeting in Moto Park, Istanbul. We see Garcia 2 points from Maldonado and another 2 points ahead of Salignon and Perent with Rossiter right up there. So it's incredibly tight. It's nip and tuck every race here, isn't it?
Yeah, at the moment, until somebody establishes himself at the front or 1 or 2 drivers do. But I mean, Salignon has to be extremely disappointed after his perfect start at Zolder. He hasn't scored a point in the last 3 races. He has to have a real think about what he's doing wrong and what he did right at Zolder to notch up them and come back strong in Misano.
Intervetten still leading the point situation, but again, not a great race for them. But here we go. I think we're just about to hear from our top 3 finishers.
Sensuality. Harmony. Fragility. Harmony. Fragility.